What is happening, people? Welcome to another episode of McLaren Fan TV. I'm with my host, Mahad from the Pit Stop Fracker. How are you doing, Mahad, man?
I just want the season to be over. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Ready to wrap it up.
It's ready to wrap it up, man. I'm not gonna lie. It was not a good race. I don't even remember the last time we had a double DNF, man. Real talk.
It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? I do remember we've had one this season, but it's been a hot minute, man. And it's crazy because it was such a great Grand Prix weekend. Like, Brazil always gives us the vibes. It's always a good circuit. It's good racing. Sprint weekend was brilliant. Qualifying was like entertaining. And yet we weren't a part of it. We just weren't a part of it.
Not involved at all. And we just didn't really look competitive anyway in the first place. I think the shining light was maybe quali, and even then we kind of fumbled it because K-Mag stuck it on pole and we were the last ones out.
Yeah, and we couldn't obviously improve on those times or even get anywhere near K-Mag. Nobody else could, to be fair. But yeah, man, it's one of those weekends, man. It's just it's one of those forgive and forget. I guess the thing that kind of makes me feel a bit better about it is simply that, as you say, more wind tunnel time. Hopefully that's what works in our favor for next season. But yeah, it's just like when you're thinking, man, just put the horse out of his misery, man. We're done. The season's done.
No, do you know what? It's the manner that it happened, because even though we didn't really look fast or competitive or anything like that, at the start of the race on Sunday, Ricciardo and Norris were out-qualified Ocon and Fernando. Ocon and Fernando were way back.
Imagine. And like they started, what was it, 18, 19?
Or 17, 18, one of those 17, two. 18. And then Norris was on the third row and Daniel was just outside the points on, I think, 11th. Yeah, so we were on to a points finish right there, double points finish. And Daniel, the scenario that happened on the first lap. Some of you may have seen Peter on the last lap. Watching that live and direct. How did you feel when that happened?
God, it was just hard to watch, man. It was hard to watch. Like, once I saw it, it was a bit like, it's a mistake by him. Like, I had to watch it a few times to be like, okay, like what happened? Is he unfortunate? Is he unlucky? It's a mistake by him. And I don't know why. He's obviously unfortunate because of the spin Magnussen makes where he makes the second contact. But I'm surprised Danny didn't clock. Like, I don't know, he sort of put himself on the accelerator and thought Magnussen would go with it, and he just didn't. And it was such a tight area as well. It just seemed like an error from Danny. And I tried my best to find... Yeah, I tried my best to just see, okay, let me be given the benefit of the doubt what's actually gone on. And it turns out it was just his mistake, plain and simple. And it kind of flashed back to us when we were watching Japan on the last lap. Where Japan, you can have some sort of sympathy for, you can understand it. He's gone in for a move, hasn't quite worked out, but this one just looks like a howler. What about your thoughts?
I just thought he just misjudged it. I like the fact that I don't know where he's been this whole time, because he's been racing now. He's on it.
Yeah,
he wants these things. He had no confidence whatsoever in these types of moves earlier on in the season. So
exactly,
it just wasn't on at all. And I think he just misjudged it. And I feel kind of bad for K-Mag, I'm not gonna lie, because he ruined his race.
Yeah, it ruined his race. What looked like. Listen, Magnussen's not shedding any tears. He still had a brilliant weekend, really, because nothing's gonna beat pole position. Yeah, your first ever pole in a car that shouldn't be anywhere near it. And yeah, it did ruin his race. And like, you kind of felt bad for K-Mag at the same time, in all honesty. But yeah,
Daniel's race done.
Daniel's race was done early doors, and I was just thinking, like, because even in the studio, I was like, man, I don't want to just root for one driver. Like, I'm saying, let me have two. Let me have something to, let's see what Norris is getting up to. Let's see what Danny's getting up to. And then it's like, okay, and then Norris, I didn't even know he was going to race this weekend because of what happened to him
He was on death's door. He was on death's door. Did you see him the whole weekend, guys? Did you see him on Friday and Saturday? This guy was finito.
He was brutal.
I don't know. To be fair, look, all credit for soldiering on and stuff like that, but you don't need to put yourself through it, man, like that. I know these guys are race drivers and they want to do it like that. Look, we've got reserve drivers. We're not really fighting for nothing right now.
Yeah, like, is it worth it? It's one of them. Is it really
worth
it?
He's done that. He's done it twice now, where he's driven sick, and it's just like, if you got food poisoning, you got food poisoning. I've had food poisoning this year. It's not nice.
Yeah,
apparently he lost 3.5 kilos this weekend because he didn't eat or drink.
3.5 kilos
in 1 weekend.
Wow. In 1 weekend. I mean, that's yeah, just to see the guy again, I'm like, man, why can't he ever have like just an easy, good weekend where it's like either he's not sick or the car hasn't got its issues? Because he was like, look, regardless, but we were slow all weekend. That's how he was talking.
And that was true, because it didn't really matter. Like, when, okay, let's say for example qualifying. Qualifying, I don't think people are realizing, because I was looking at the track map while I was watching it, and I was thinking, so everybody came out. Obviously, K-Man comes out first because Hassel the first on the grid, right? At the paddock, at the pit lane, because they were last season, right? And then obviously you had the Ferraris, and then you saw the whole incident with like Leclerc being on Inters and stuff like that, yeah. And then you remember all of them were lined up to get out there, right?
Yeah.
Who wasn't in that line? Norris wasn't in that line. He was still in the garage. We were last out by miles compared to everybody else. And then obviously think about it, everybody that was behind K-Mag did a worse lap than him, because obviously he was on the drier track to do his lap. Yeah, we can't be miles behind. We were miles behind even the 9th car that was out.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Credit Norris that he managed to even put it on, what was it, P4? Credit Norris for even qualifying on P4 there.
Yeah.
But we can't keep doing this, because we're further down in the paddock than Ferrari and Mercedes and Red Bull. Why are we coming out lost? We're closer to the exit.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, it's a schoolboy error that I wasn't appreciating that move from McLaren. I don't get it. I don't get why, whether or not it's because the temperatures were really weird, everything was changing, people didn't know what tires to be on. I mean, it's like
that doesn't matter for Norris, because he was fastest in Q1. He was in top 3 Q2.
Seeing him up there,
it's like, very highly likely he would have been top 3 if he was further up.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, no, exactly. It's just.
But it didn't matter in the sprint race, because we dropped like a stone because the car is not fast. He shouldn't be there. I was saying this to my brethren. Yeah, we shouldn't even be there. Why is Norris even there? Everybody's like, oh, look at Norris, he's getting overtaken. He shouldn't even be there in the first place. Look at the car he's in, guys.
Yeah, look at the car he's in. Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't have even rocked up. We should just held it for Sunday, because at least Sunday it's a bit more strategic. It's not about always the fastest car. It's just about, right place, right time. Anything can happen. Strategy, then boom, we're good to go. But yeah, why did we even turn up to the sprint race? God knows, because it was a shocker. It
was good for Ricciardo though. Ricciardo made up a lot of places.
Ricciardo did well.
Shocking quality.
Yeah, no, Ricciardo did do well. Yeah, but I wonder where this racing Danny's coming from. I don't know. And it's not like he's fighting for a seat next year. He's come out and said, look, I need to take some time out. Let's get your thoughts on this. I want to take some time out and, sort of refine myself again. Because he says that sometimes when you're in a seat, you don't have time to sort of I guess recharge the batteries and really find yourself again. He looks like somebody who's having to reinvent himself a little bit, or just or get himself back, if that makes sense.
I think he's very much, mind the crew term, I think he's just in fuck it mode. He's just like, I'm just going to enjoy myself. And that's what he's been saying prior to races and stuff. I'm just going to enjoy myself out there. He said it before Mexico when he did all those overtakes. Like, I'm just going to enjoy myself out there. I don't think he even obviously he has no loyalty or kind of like, he's not indebted to McLaren to try to help them to get P4 anyway, because he's been fired. So he's just like, you guys provide me the car, I'm just going to go enjoy myself out there. So he's not feeling the pressure of, we need to get points here, or we need to do this or that. He's just very much, I'm just going to enjoy my last couple of races in Formula One and try to do some moves, which he likes to do. If we know Danny from before, he's on this overtaking thing. That's what he enjoys. So it didn't really work out in the actual race, but in the sprint race he did well. Quali didn't do too well, but if you watch these streams, I was very much laying my hat on P4's not a thing anyway. So I'd rather us get P5. And for us to even be in the scenario where we're towards the last race and we were even in that battle in the first place, we have a significantly slower car than Alpine. and I've been saying this for a while, that Alpine is quick, and they're just fumbling because their engine keeps blowing up. It's a credit to Lando Norris, because he's been dragging his team to a battle that we shouldn't even be in the first place.
I think, like if you had we have a driver of the season, for example, like if you had a top 3 driver of the season, I know it should be the first 3 people that are in the Drivers' Championship, but I think Norris gets 3rd place, because the way you've just put it, that car shouldn't be anywhere near where it is in terms of, and Lando Norris as a driver shouldn't be as high as he is in the Drivers' Championship. And the fact that I know it's 19 points now from Alpine, God knows what that's, how can we overturn that in Abu Dhabi? I don't think so. But the fact that he's even anywhere near that and pushing the car the way he's pushing that car is astonishing. It's quite remarkable. And I can't remember who the reserve driver is for Alpine now, who was talking post-race, or maybe it was just like part of the Alpine Academy, might have not been in reserve, but there was like a young driver who was talking with the host of Formula One show post race, and he was saying, like, they were talking about McLaren's sort of failings, and he was like, yeah, it's been tough for McLaren, it's not been a great weekend for them, they've had their unluck this weekend, but he said, but let's just remember, Alpine have had it all season. And the truth of the matter is the Alpine car is better than McLaren's. It's just that the reliability is what's costing Alpine all season. And, when he kind of put it like that, it was a bit like, yeah, do you know what? Perspective is simple. We shouldn't be anywhere near battling on the last day. So credit to Norris and even Ricciardo's points, whatever the small points he's got. But like credit to Norris more so that he's even kept McLaren relevant in a top 4 race.
I think it's credit to the team, bar the people that made the car, because the strategy more or less has been on point. The pit stops were up there. We're up there with Red Bull when it comes to pit stops, so we're not fumbling that bag. So it looks like we're kind of refining everything else that needs to be done once the car is good, but the car is not good, and I feel like, and I don't want to be too harsh, but the gap between us and the 3 front runners shouldn't be where it is, considering where we were last year. Because last year we could hang, at least time-wise. We wasn't the fastest car or anything like that, and nobody was hanging with Hamilton and Verstappen when they were on it. Them man were 30 seconds up the road. But at least we could hang for podiums, and I don't feel like that gap that we've got at the moment, which is to Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull, is probably about 7 tenths to a second. It shouldn't really be like that. It should be at least half a second or 4 tenths. We should be quite clear in the midfield, and that's not the case. And I expect that at least next year to be quite clear in the midfield and not be in this scenario where we're on certain weekends we could be the 7th fastest car. We're significantly slower than Alpine. Alpine, on their weekend, they're hanging with Mercedes and Ferrari.
Yeah.
So on pure pace. And
they finished ahead of the
we've never had a weekend like that at all.
No, we have never. Not one weekend this season. Not one.
When we analyze the whole season, when we look back and stuff like that, we've never been like, oh, the car's cooking.
Yeah.
There's always something, or something's regressed, or it's track dependent.
No, I'll make you right. Yeah, it's one of those where I think we can all sit here and accept 5th place. It being as far, 19 points is a stretch. I mean, it can be the Alpines who would flop this 19 points because both cars could DNF on any given day. And listen, this weekend they tried to do the most, didn't they? The fact that, Alonso and Ocon were having their little swingers, the fact that Ocon's car was roasting, where I could put, I could have a frigging barbecue on his car. Like they almost do everything they can to cost themselves some points, but the car is far better. And Alonso finishing ahead of both Red Bulls tells you the story, kind of thing.
Alonso was cooking, even though he had had an absolute howler.
He had a sprint race.
Yeah, he had an absolute stinker. The fact that he still finished P5, what the hell's going on here? I watched the match. I watched the race retrospectively, like after, and I didn't really understand how the hell Alonso went from like 17th to 5th, and then he was ready to dunk on the Ferrari. He was ready. If there was a couple more laps, he was ready. So I don't really understand. That's how you know that car has got some sort of pace there. Because obviously with Fernando Alonso, it's traditional that he's going to get 100% out of whatever car he's in. And when he shows that 100%, he's getting in top fives. So
the car's good.
It's a good car, but it's just the reliability. Like we had a double DNF. Let's compare their reliability to ours. They had a double DNF. No, Fernando Alonso, how many DNFs does he have? It's ridiculous. Their engine just blows up.
Alone,
Ocon's engine was on fire in Parc Ferme on Saturday, and that engine's only been around for like 2 months, two races. For us, how many grid penalties has Lando Norris or Ricciardo taken for changing engines?
For sure. No, for
We're
sure.
Not changing engines.
We're not changing engines. Do you know what I'm saying?
When Norris's engine switched off, I said to myself, oh, yeah, it was due. It was due. Because how long has he been driving with the same engine? He's been driving with the same engine since March.
He's probably the only one left that hadn't had an engine failure or some sort of electrical issue, because I think he mentioned it was electrical in the end, but whether that there's been a debrief since, like I haven't heard anything. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's one of those ones where, like, okay, the reality is we are P5 this season, and that's that. And next season, I think, as you say, we need to be so P4, like it's not even funny. Like we have to be the best in the midfield. But the thing is, with the Alpine, it's weird. Their car is fast, but I don't see potential of growth, if that makes sense. Like in my mind, I'm always saying, man, why is Alonso leaving this team? Why is he leaving this team? Then I realized, you know what? I couldn't hang my hat on them getting better. I couldn't hang my hat on them being.
We spoke on them, didn't we? We spoke on them.
Yeah.
Like, what's your thoughts on their team owner? Their CEO. What's your thoughts on their team principal, Otmar? Do you believe that next season he can manage that situation? Do you think they're going to improve from where they are now?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. And that's probably the reason why that's the reason why it's Alonso's trying to get the hell out of there. You know, he made a move where he's going to step back to hopefully gain 2 steps forward, but we have to wait and see. Aston Martin it looks like what it is, but then when you're swinging without Alfa Romeo, I am questioning. But again, first year, new regs. Let's see when they get in their new factory and everything else. You know, they got a bit of time. They got a bit of time to buy.
But with Otmar as well, he's got previous of not being able to manage drivers. He couldn't manage Perez and Ocon. Clearly, he's soured with Ocon and Alonso. What's he going to do with Gasly and Ocon now?
It's a recipe for disaster. But I will say Otmar has always been he's always been there when the cars are fast, if that makes sense. So like in the Force India Racing Point days, when it was lightning quick, he always seemed to be around. When he's now come to Alpine weren't quick last year. Where were Alpine last year? You know what I'm saying? Like they
won a race. They won a race, but I don't think they were as quick as they are now. They've made a step forward.
Yeah, no. Now it's like this is the racing point of 2022, if that makes sense. The 2020 Racing Point. This is what this is. So it's just like it doesn't finish races. That's the only problem. But next year, I mean, yeah, it's a toss up. You know, Alpine, McLaren, Aston Martin. Maybe it's a toss up.
I'm not saying it's a toss up. I'm saying that. Well, my expectations are we need to be significantly further than them guys. Significantly.
Listen,
there shouldn't be excuses around it.
No, I'm just going on your theory of wind tunnel time. Listen,
we'll have more wind tunnel time. Yeah. We'll have better driving pairing. You hesitated.
No, you know how I feel about this.
You're nervous about Oscar.
You know how I feel about this. It's Oscar's first year next year. I ain't expecting big things. Now, am I expecting him to be better than Ricciardo of this season?
Lando Norris is swinging with Alonso and Ocon on his ones until the 21st race. Now it's over. Till the 21st race. Man went the full 12 rounds. in a boxing match with 2 people.
Listen, man. Like, it's one of them ones.
Even now, look, Lando Norris got 113 points. Ocon's got 86 and Fernando's got 81. Them man ain't beating him.
Yeah, that's a madness.
They should be ashamed of themselves that they got less points than Norris. They should be absolutely ashamed of themselves.
And the thing is, it's not on the driver; it's just on the team, not having a reliable car more often than not. Shall we get into the comment section? I think we've dissected this race a little bit.
Yeah. Go on.
And it's not been much to say on our side. To be fair, we cut out early.
I've got a question for you. Though. Before we put the comments up, thoughts on the Norris Leclerc incident? What's your thoughts?
Norris Leclerc. I need to remember it, mate. So much happened on the weekend. Remind me of this incident.
When Leclerc tried to hang it around the outside in the race, and Leclerc was Norris was in the inside. Norris punted him out.
And Norris punted him out. I don't know how I feel about it. You know, I think we spoke about it on the live show, but
on the last show, did you show some bias, or was you trying to be like, Sky Sports pundit? Let me just try to.
No. Be neutral, I'm 1,000% biased. Let's be very clear, especially on a Ferrari as well. Especially on a Ferrari, I was 100% biased. When I look at it now, because it's like it's not a mistake, is it? It's not a mistake from Norris, is it? I feel like
I think it's from what I'm trying to remember. I don't want to embarrass myself here. Let me just you say your thoughts. I need to see it again.
I was literally gonna go watch it again right now. Get it again, because
I feel like the curb kind of threw him off and made him understand into the situation. Yeah. What he said after, though. What he said after, though. Did you see what he said after?
No, what did he say after? All
right, let me find the quote.
What did he say after?
You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at what he said. Yeah.
Do you know what?
He says what I would have said. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I just watched it back.
I respect it.
I watched it back just now.
Yeah.
I don't think he did anything wrong.
Do you see what I'm saying though? Do you see what I'm saying about the whole? He got thrown off on the curb.
So I watched. That's the bit I was watching more closely, because obviously the steering kind of jiggers after he's gone on the curb.
Yeah. Look, once you bounce up on the curb like that, you're not in control. In that sense, you're gonna go wide. Your tires in the air. Look, I need people to observe this.
Yeah, I'm literally.
I need people to observe that once he bounced off that curb, because all the focus was on Lewis and Max, innit? Because they both happened at the same time, innit? Around the same time.
Yes, they did happen around the same time. Is that
that slight bump? Yeah, this is not deliberate. That slight bump on the sausage curb.
It's a
on the inside of that turn.
I can't bounce him off. I don't know if that's any clearer for the masses, but like I don't know. Like when you're looking at it,
look, that bounce there, bang.
Oh,
that bounce there, it takes you off the racing line, bro.
Was he off the racing line? You think?
No. The bounce. Once you go on the sausage curb, bounce like that, it shifts you that way.
It shifts you. It does shift you. It does. It does.
So, are we saying it's a mistake that Norris went on that curb because you can't predetermine where your car's gonna go once you go on that curb? It's kind of like when people say, "Oh, Max intended to park the car on Hamilton's head." In Monza. Like, how do you predetermine where your car's gonna fly?
It's a madness. No,
once you even touch it, it's like them people that in a wet quali and they touch the white line.
Yeah.
The car goes spinning.
It goes. Yeah. George Russell.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he just bounced off the curb with his right front tire, that kind of puts it offline. He's trying to correct, and then obviously my man's going around the outside like that.
It's difficult. I'm not blaming Norris for it, if I'm honest. And
obviously he got a 5-second penalty, yeah. I've said this for a while. Yeah. And the FIA has been doing this since Michael Massey 2019, yeah. They keep applying penalties, not on the incident itself, but from the outcome of the incident.
I couldn't believe
if they just banged wheels, and Leclerc didn't go flying, it's a racing incident.
Well, yeah.
But because he went flying,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? They keep doing this. They keep doing that. And I don't know why. The same way with Lewis and Max, I don't want to bring this up, Lewis and Max in Silverstone, because Max went flying at the wall, they gave Lewis a penalty. But if they just banged wheels and they carried on, it's a racing incident. You cannot apply penalties due to outcomes. If in football, if you 2-foot a man and you don't break his leg, you don't just give him a yellow. Oh, that's calm. That's fine. It's calm.
He gets the red regardless.
He gets the red regardless. It's not because he's broke his leg now. I have to give him a red. What?
Nah.
Why does that make sense in Formula 1 then? You can't be making penalties on the outcomes.
It's true.
It's the incident itself.
It's the incident itself. Do you know what? There was a part of me that felt like, you know what, 5 seconds we got off lightly there because I thought they were going to throw the book at Norris, especially with the
they threw the book at Stroll because he tried to kill them.
Yeah, but like, who was it? Was it Hamilton and Verstappen? And Verstappen got the 5. I thought if Verstappen gets the 5 on that, we got away with 5. That's how I felt in the race. I remember I'm trying to remember like how I was feeling.
That's Verstappen. When's Verstappen getting 10?
I'm surprised
not
Verstappen
to be controversially, but when is Verstappen getting 10 seconds?
I forgot he would even get him. I thought it was gonna.
Did he even get a 10 seconds for all the stuff that he did in Jeddah last year?
He got
because that's one of the. If we talk about Hall of Fame terrorist drives, that's a Hall of Fame terrorism drive.
You want to talk about conspiracy?
In 2021, the way he was driving,
Jeddah was
he was just getting 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there, whatever. And I respect it because he's fighting for a championship and stuff like that. Yeah. But he should have been getting 10 seconds all over the guy. But do you blame? So are you blaming us? Let's just put this.
No, I don't blame Norris. No, I don't.
You don't blame Norris.
No.
Do you want to hear what Norris said?
Let's hear what Norris said.
Norris said he feels the penalty was unfair. Charles went around the outside. First thing you learn in racing is not to go around the outside and to leave space. If Charles was in my shoes, he would have done the same. Any good driver would have done the same. Wow. He wouldn't have done the same. He would, if Charles was in my shoes, he wouldn't have done the same. Any good driver wouldn't have done the same. It's difficult for the stewards to put themselves in my shoes. Do they just look at the incident from the onboard and say he caused the crash, or do they actually understand how they've done everything to avoid the crash and so
on? Interesting. So he feels like you should.
Look. If you look at the approach to the corner, yeah. Leclerc squeezed him onto the curb, and he's bounced off the curb and gone into it. So where's he supposed to go, guys? People in the chat, where is he supposed to go?
Where's he supposed to go?
That not bounced off the curb. If he's getting squeezed, the only place he can go is left, and guess what that is? That's crashing into to Leclerc.
And
then he bounces off that sausage curb and goes into Leclerc. So you tell me, stewards.
Let's see. All right, let's get into the comment section because there are loads of people who have commented. Big up everybody that's watching right now as well. Please smash a like button on the video. Subscribe because we are not at the 100 subscriber mark yet. And we need to get as many people on here as possible so we can at least put the URL as McLaren Fan TV. But big up everyone that's watching right now. Thank you very much for the comments as well. Let's kick things off. Canadian Gringo says, another great race, boys. I mean... the sarcasm is flowing and flowing. Oh dear. Hussein says last race for Danny Rick. The last race. We got one more, ladies and gentlemen, and then we are done with Danny Rick. Hussein goes on to say Norris should just stay home when he's sick.
That's what I would do.
Is what it is.
Man, I feel like he's got no sick days in his contract.
Thoughts on Piastri the sick days. Thoughts on Piastri being able to drive in Abu Dhabi? I think that got announced in the weekend.
He's out of there, man. We got him out the basement. He's in that Enstone basement, man. Got him out of there. I'm really excited to see him.
Free Oscar.
And the testing, man.
All tight, Nate. Big up yourself, my G. Listen, you team is pants. Listen,
Nate, tell me what your team is.
The thing is, I think he's Mercedes. To be fair, and the thing is, 1-2. He's got a 1-2 this weekend. You can't say nothing. Nothing can be said. Is this man out of jail? Yeah, is he out of barred territory? KD.
We're gonna put him on. He's on tag. He's on tag. So you only get 20% of your messages up. Nathan.
He's got a curfew. Nathan says, "Shout out Gasly to get trying to get penalty points."
He was trying. He was driving slow.
Yes. But he's fed up. He's fed up. He's out of it. This guy wants to lose his license.
No, he wants to because I'm not gonna lie, I would do it. He effed up because if you get 2 more points, then you're race ban, right?
Yeah.
If he did it in Brazil, then he doesn't even need to fly to AD. He could just go home.
Go to France, bro. Have you heard about next season? Yeah, that Alpine, Ocon's family and Gasly family will do alternate weekends.
They're not allowed to be in the same place. Yeah.
Oh, come on. What is going on?
Their beef runs deep, man. This is like, them parents at Sunday League and they're beefing each other on the sidelines.
Wow.
That's what their parents was doing, man.
If I ever find my parents beefing anybody's parents, we need to have an intervention, man.
Your son crashed into my son. Them ones grown man,
Nah, we need to have an intervention. Oh my god. Canadian Gringo says Stroll terrorism. Stroll was moving mad.
That's why I'm not gonna lie. That's why I like Stroll. I'm gonna lie to you. These type of weekends, he's like, Alonso's complaining now about Ocon. Your life is in danger, brother, if you go to AM. Because Stroll is not having it, man. Yeah, and the thing is, Alonso's a clean driver when it comes to wheel to wheel. He's gonna be surprised. Listen, Stroll already gave him a taste in Qatar. He was like,
he's like, I'll allow it.
Come through and then look what's gonna happen to you, bro. So Alonso's priority has to be, I have to outqualify this guy at all times because I can't be on the same team. I can't be near him.
I loved how Ocon and Alonso were always paired together throughout the whole weekend, whether it was quali, sprint,
even on the last race,
bit, and then the last bit of the race. I was thinking, yo, what's going on here? What's happening here? Alonso was moving like he was on drugs, man. He was mad on Sunday. David says Lando thought he could do terrorism. You ain't that guy, buddy.
He didn't even intentionally do it. That's what's the worst thing about it. When you look at it, he didn't even intentionally try to take man up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's even worse. That's how you know that maybe he's too much of a clean driver for his own good.
He's too clean. PB says gang or ganga, but big at yourself, PB. You're done. No, you got a couple comments as well coming up. Trevor says ready to get this season over with. Ready for Piastri. I think we are all in unison. I think nobody's disagreeing with you there, Trevor. And then PB says, not me, not me, W, the spelling errors out the gate, OMG. Ganga, you know. Lando was truly prepared to die on the line. My brother in Christ, it ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. It's 2 races left. Chill out, bro. If you got 3 points, you can go. We had Nick DeVries there, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying DeVries.
I really wish it was Oscar. I really wish it was Oscar. Bro.
Yeah. When I heard DeVries was there, I was like, man, who's this guy?
Man, he's you know that man. He's in the F1 agency, man. He's 0-hour contracts.
He's got that casual contract, boy. You know
it's that last minute call up every time.
0 hour. Nate says this is regarding Norris being sick. They drive when sick because of their contract. They want their monies.
Oh yeah, Lando.
Listen, man.
For no money.
It is what it is. Me, I'm driving. I can't lie.
If I'm getting paid by like that, if I'm getting paid by the day, there's no sick pay. I told you, he got no sick pay in his contract, bro. You thought I was joking?
Hey, do you know I hear random topic? You know, in WWE, you know that man got 0-hour contracts.
No way,
bro. No wrestler has a.
So contract. hold on. If a wrestler breaks his arm, he's done. He's done.
They've got no benefits, no medical, nothing. No I couldn't believe this. I was like, "What do you mean on 0-hour contracts, bro? That man are literally they're not employed by WWE. They're like
they're just basically like self-employed contractors.
Exactly that. Exactly. I couldn't believe when I heard that. I said, this is a howler. Hussein says this Mercedes PU seems to be getting better. Do you think it is? Who else is doing good in this Mercedes? I mean, Aston Martin, you can't quite work out. Have they improved? I can't work it out. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe it has improved, but it's
I think that's biased because of the Mercedes being good. The Mercedes is good now.
Mercedes
and I don't think that's power unit. But I think the Mercedes power unit maybe is excelling past the Ferrari power unit in terms of top speeds because they look good in the straights now. But do you know what? Low key, AD's a test because people always like ignore once the championship's been won. Remember, like when Hamilton used to win, people used to kind of ignore what AD stands for, the last race of the season.
Yes,
but it's usually an indicator of who's going to do well next season.
Year. Yeah,
we saw in 2020. Red Bull was cooking in AD,
bro.
I was like, "Yo, they're gonna cook in 2021" because I swear Max won by like 20 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, and I remember Horner was like looking at that race and was like, "There's something to cook here next year." I'll never forget that last race in 2020. I'll never forget it because it got me thinking,
because they were nowhere near. Nobody else was nowhere near where they were. They were gone.
They were gone, and it was a bit like It was a bit like when Jenson Button and the Brawn battered the first half of the year.
Bro, he won by 15 seconds.
What, Verstappen?
Yeah, in 2020, in Abu Dhabi against over the two Mercedes who just won the championship.
There you go.
And that's one of the best, the W11, one of the best Mercedes of all time.
Okay, so listen, you've sold AD well there. You sold AD well to watch it next weekend.
And look, and guess what? Guess where McLaren were in that race? 5th and 6th, behind the Mercedes and the Red Bulls
in 2020,
and then in 2020 and AD. Yeah. And what happened in 2020, 21?
We look good.
So it's a really good indicator on who's going to be good next season, especially because the regs.
And you think that will be the case with the new regs as well, yeah?
I don't think the regs are that significant enough. The flexi floor one's already kind of been put in place, and there's another one I don't know, but it's really small, insignificant. It's really just building on the car that you have at the moment.
All right, I'll take your word for it, man. Pick up everybody that's messaging in right now, commenting in the comment section right now. Make sure you smash a like button on this video and subscribe. Tell people, by the way, man, that we are here, McLaren Fan TV.
Let people know, man.
Let them friggin' know. Hussein says Yuki in the FIA naughty corner again. What's Yuki been up to? What did Yuki get up to?
Didn't let him on lap at the end, which is just a disgrace. They let all the other lapped cars on lap, and then they didn't let Yuki on lap. That's bullying. What the hell's going on here? But I said to you, I said this on a pod with Tomo a year ago on Pit Stop. Yeah, I said the FIA are bullying Yuki Tsunoda because every time he has the exact same incident as somebody else, he won't get a 5, he'll get a 10. He'll just get random stuff. Remember that incident in Brazil last year with Stroll and Yuki?
Yes,
it was Stroll's fault.
Oh my god,
and they gave Stroll's fault. 10 seconds on his head. And I was like, it's the other guy's fault, and you gave Yuki 10 seconds. It's outrageous. Yeah. They keep doing stuff like
this. That was wild. Big up Yuki Tsunoda. Nate says Danny racing hard so he can replace Perez at Red Bull. Perez ain't going nowhere.
He's getting peaky at Red Bull, you know.
I'll tell you what.
Yuki, man.
I said,
he's giving me Weber Vettel vibes, man.
Honestly, I was like, what a scumbag Max Verstappen is. For 5th place, you know. I said, nah, come on.
Okay, retrospectively, guys, when you look back at what obviously Max is very petty and that's very childish behavior from him.
Clearly.
Because you're a world champion, you shouldn't really care at this moment in time. You won the championship. But at the time of Monaco, it was a battle between Perez, Leclerc, and Max Verstappen for the championship. And I thought it was quite blatantly obvious that Checo crashed the car on purpose. I don't know why people are retrospectively looking back on it like, oh, he crashed on purpose. I said it at the time he crashed on purpose. Alonso crashed on purpose on the same lap.
Well, a bit like when Leclerc did it as well in Monaco.
Who pins on the entry to the tunnel in Monaco? Like, just for no reason in quali. In the race, I understand. In quali. Because in the race, it happens because people try to go side by side on that corner.
Yeah.
And one guy ends up in the wall.
Yeah.
But in quali, who's been in it on that corner?
I
said it at the time. And on pit stop as well, we said that the whole thing with Leclerc as well when he'd been here. He binned it on purpose as well the year before.
Hey, the Leclerc one, I believe, bro.
Alonso binned it on the most slow speed corner in that same lap. Yeah,
remember, it was two of them, wasn't it? It was two of them.
They crashed at the same time. Alonso crashed for no reason as well. These people are purposely crashing because they know that it's a quali track and there's no overtaking. Checo is at that time. Let me get the standings. Yeah, at that time,
I can't believe this.
At that time, man. He is in a championship. He's in the championship, bro. He's in the championship.
Yeah.
He's in the championship race. Was he not cooking him all weekend as well? Prior,
he was. Yeah, he was. He was
absolutely cooking him. Yeah. There were only like 20 points between them. So why would Perez in his head think this wasn't the times where it was like, oh yeah, teammate time. This was when they were beefing each other for points.
I mean, it's just the pettiness. Let's say, for example, Perez is
petty.
Yeah, let's say Perez was scummy and did that, right? Let's believe it, right? It's petty, man. Like
it's petty because they weren't for pole. That's what makes it worse.
This is nothing for him. Exactly. For fifth,
I did it for third place.
It weren't for a podium, bruv. It wasn't.
No, he
for
did
a
it for a
podium.
No, he just because remember Perez started P3 that race.
But as in, to trade back.
Lockout.
Sorry, no, I'm talking about this race.
Oh, this race just now. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, as in I'm saying, like, you know, he like Perez gets the position, he's P5, and then he's got a few points ahead on Leclerc, right? You'd think even Horner would say, look, I want a Red Bull 1-2 in the drivers' championship if I can. Like it's an ideal world. Like we're dominating it completely. But this is outrageous. It's outrageous.
No. The problem is, yeah, I feel like the next race after Monaco, Max got his revenge on Perez. Because Perez started P2 and Max started P3, and then Max won by 20 seconds. He dunked on Perez.
Just dunked on him.
Absolutely dunked on him. Even though Perez just won in Monaco. Yeah. So I feel like he got his revenge there. And it wasn't really a team orders for you. He just overtook him and just said he left him for dust. Perez had no pace. He cannot chat to Max. I'm telling everybody right now, Perez cannot chat to Max.
Yeah,
when it comes to race pace.
He can't.
It was a scenario in Monaco where it was a track that he could overtake anyway, and Perez was smart on the strategy, won the race. But for Max to be that petty and vindictive in his head, where it's like, I remember when we were competing against each other back in Monaco.
Yeah,
I remember that. I ain't giving you position back. Hold that.
Man said, I already told you what time.
And remember, I already told you over the summer. So that means in the summertime, he said to him, I know Checo crashed on purpose.
This guy's moving like Cristiano Ronaldo, brother.
And then Checo started doing up teammate when he realized I'm not in this team no more.
Yeah.
He's running away with it.
Well, Perez brought out a comment yesterday, didn't he? I think he put out a post where he was like, look, what's going on between me and Verstappen will stay internal. Everything's sorted. I think he wins next weekend. I predict Perez to win the race next weekend. I think the Red Bull will be the best.
He has the car underneath him, boy.
That's the thing, yeah.
I think with Verstappen, with that point, yeah, I think he's laid the line now. They're done. He's not gonna. He's 1 for 1 in it.
Yeah.
So if there is a scenario next weekend where he can help Perez, he's gonna help Perez. But
Perez, think?
Yeah, but I'm saying, so let's say for example Max is first and whatever. No, but even if Perez has to be there, this is one thing about right now. Yeah, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm a Perez fan and stuff like that. Yeah, I rate Perez.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't be in a scenario right now where he's fighting for P2. P2 should be comfy. You're on a rocket ship, bro.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It might have slowed down now, but you were in a rocket ship.
The argument that could be made, though, the Ferrari's a rocket ship too.
No. Not after summer break. Let's be serious.
I mean, if you're a Ferrari guy, you're sitting there thinking, how, like this, we've got battered in this title, and we shouldn't be battered. We should have been winning this title race. Simple. They should be going into the last Grand Prix with it being Leclerc versus Verstappen. At least. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
no. Okay, failures of Ferrari aside, yeah. Ferrari have been out and said we didn't develop the car after Spa. Yeah.
Why didn't they?
Because they said something about budget and they were working on the 2024 car. And maybe that's the reason why Bonotto's getting sacked right now.
Yeah, man. Fred Vasseur, brother. So I'm hearing them rumors already. I'm like, yo.
Well, Fred Vasseur needs to get out of there because obviously Audi's coming through. He's a Ferrari guy. They need to get him out of there, innit? So if it looks like an opportunity to get him in there and get Bonotto out of there, they're going to do that. But like you said, you're right. If Ferrari didn't have their failures in the first half, this wouldn't be a battle. It would just be Leclerc and Max, right?
Yeah.
But Perez has been in an opportunity where he's won races, he's had podiums, and he's been in and about, and he just can't put it away.
True.
One of those situations, you can't put it away. Why are you tied level with, like, when Michael Schumacher in 2004 had a rocket ship, Barrichello was comfy second.
It's comfortable second, yeah.
And that should be the case right now. Perez should at least have 30 points on him.
Oh, at least 30 points. Boy, what do you think about this one?
Bro, what's the name? Leclerc went like 7 races in a row without a podium.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's be serious.
Yeah. When you put it like that, it's like Perez. Why are you eating?
Why are you not eating? And now you're taking it to the last day. You're like, please help me, Max. I need help. Bro, just patting it. Just patting it, man. Charles Charles is begging for a podium as well. That's shameless as well. Charles is begging for a podium of Sainz.
See, Charles,
you can't be doing that.
On Sainz, you know. When I think about the championship, what? P2 in the
think about the championship and think about bro. It's different if it's 5th or 6th. Yeah, podium. I'm gonna give away my podium. Come take it. You're taking the piss.
Nah, I tell you what. That was a wild move from Charles. This weekend though has shown that people are moving mad. People
That's shameless. Just shameless behavior, man.
Think about it, like your Gasly's, your friggin', Ocon and Alonso had their madness. Stroll had his madness. Verstappen had his madness. Charles had his madness. People were moving mad.
It's shameless behavior. I don't think people understand. I can understand if it was like 8th or 7th. You're telling a man, hand up your podium. Your teammate. This is one thing I think that's been twisted, yeah.
Oh, wild.
And I think kind of like, especially Mercedes and Red Bull over the last year, kind of blurred the lines. Is the whole teammate thing? Oh, we gotta help your teammate. I'm a wingman. Whatever. This is individual sport. All these drivers want to take each other out. Tell you that right now.
Yeah.
They don't care.
The
only time they ever start doing up teamwork is when they're not in the championship no more, or they're not in the battle anymore.
Yeah.
You think Perez is parking the bus in AD?
No,
for Max, if he's in the shout for a title,
no chance.
There is no way.
No chance.
It's only because these guys weren't good enough throughout the season to compete against their teammates. It's an individual sport at the end of the day. I think the whole I drive for Red Bull, and obviously we know this as McLaren fans.
Yeah,
our drivers make it abundantly clear that it's an individual sport. You get
me? They do.
In the past, anyway. Fernando Alonso, Alonso, Jenson Button, Hamilton, Jenson Button, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso. We very much make it clear, and our policy was very much you man do your thing. To the point where it was detrimental. Yeah,
to the point where it cost us. Yeah. Oh man, what do you think about this one? Alonso gonna finish behind Ocon?
I bet somebody 50 quid that it's over, bro. Like Alonso beaten. Once I saw Alonso P5, I said, "What on earth is going on here?" I don't think people understand the significance of Alonso finishing P5 in that race.
No, they don't.
Ocon is on shake mode now. What's the difference in points? I need to find this out. Right?
I'm checking it now. The difference is 5 points going into the final race.
Bro, please. The gap was huge.
The gap was big. I remember.
The gap,
I think it was like 40
the gap was 30
points
plus 30 something points.
30 something.
This is one of the biggest Ocon a lot of bottlers. Ocon is bottling right now because all he has to do, all Alonso has to do, is finish 2 positions ahead of this guy,
and that's it. It's over.
Let him get a cheeky P6 and then finish P9. It's over.
Wow, Alonso's come back, bro. He's come
back. And if he does that after being 30 plus points down, and Ocon has still never beaten a teammate in F1, and he's introducing Gasly,
it's a problem. Gasly's gonna cook him next year, Bro, Gasly's gonna cook him.
If you're an Ocon fan out there, that has to disturb you. I know people will say, "Oh, he's had good teammates." No. You have to be worried.
You have to be worried. Yeah, I'm sorry. Even I like Ocon.
He has to come with his dub. He has to come with his dub.
Let's see. TSJ Awesome. Big up yourself. 628 says the aim for us always be championships and victories. Losing P4 is not the end of the world. Agreed.
Yeah, I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in it.
Agreed. Big up yourself. I think it's the first time you've commented and you're a McLaren fan, so that's what we like.
Shout out to you, man.
That's what we like to hear. PB says, yeah, Jack Doohan. Oh, that's the Alpine brother I was talking about.
Oh, yeah. He's
Doohan lad.
Mick Doohan, legend, bro. MotoGP legend.
Oh, the MotoGP guy.
Yeah.
I said my jigger Doohan. Bear man, no Doohan. Yeah, all right. I see.
Doohan's that guy, man.
I see y'all. Oxy Dress says, run me Alonso in the Red Bull. I'm trying to see something.
That would have been box office.
Hey, that is box office.
I asked for that. I asked that. Before you signed to Aston Martin, I was like, please get him to replace Checo. I was begging.
That is box office. That is, and I know people will think, oh, maybe with Mercedes and Hamilton again. Nah, bun that. It would be box office.
I've got bad news for you guys.
What's that?
He's gonna put. He might crash into Max a couple of times. Or Max might crash into him. You don't know. It'll be scary. It'll be scary.
Listen, I am Team Alonso in that battle. Let me tell you that right now for free.
Loki, I'll be Team Alonso 100%.
For sure. TSJ says P4 is an absolute minimum. With the resources we have, we should have been up there fighting for victories consistently this season. Next season, we must be fighting at the bare minimum for podiums. I think.
That's really, I really believe if we're only 4/10 off, that should be the case. If we're 4/10 off the top runner, the top car, we need to be in that conversation. Because strategy error up front, somebody crashes out up front, something happens, we can sneak one here and there. We should be in and about it. But one thing about what is a P4 minimum, it needs to be P4 minimum clear of P5. P5 should not be chatting to us. So in quali or race pace, they should not be chatting to us.
But Alpine,
the wind tunnel opens in the summer, in the middle of the season. So even if we're doing upgrades, we can use that wind tunnel.
Okay. But Alpine's pace, where do we expect it to go?
I'm just hoping they're just bozos.
Because I think
I'm not gonna lie, they could make a step forward at the same time, and then it will be a 5-way battle for podiums.
Okay, I hear you because
they've got resources.
I think people underestimate Alpine's pace, and they've underestimated it all year.
Alpine have got the resources we're building now.
Yeah.
Alpine have unbelievable resources.
Do you know when I believe
they've got a wind tunnel? They've got bread. Renault's got bread.
You know when I believed them, yeah? I'll tell you when I had belief in Alpine. When Alonso did what he did in Australia, I said, nah, hold on a minute. And I know he crashed out at the end, right? But that P2 he was on in quali, was it in quali?
Yeah.
I sat there in disbelief. I said, what is this? Because we're only in Australia. So this can only get...
The advantage they have over us is they have control of their own engine.
Yeah.
So this is the problem for every other team that's not engine manufacturer. If their engine cooks and they're unreal, they're beating Ferrari and Red Bull.
1,000%.
So they've got the biggest ceiling for a jump because they're in control of their own destiny in terms of their own car, right? And obviously that's why one of these teams need to move away from a Mercedes engine or a Ferrari engine and stuff like that and kind of take that gamble with the Renault engine. Obviously it's blowing up on that. You don't really want to do that now. But if their engine cooks and they're actually fast, you're going to see a lot of teams jump ship and go back to Renault. But they're in control of their own destiny, man. So the P4 minimum, TSJ, it's a problem because they're more in control of their destiny than we are. We may have similar resources to them, but this whole us not having our own engine is a problem.
It's a big problem, isn't it? If only Audi was coming to us. It's a big problem. Hussein says Norris was a bit too aggressive in his opinion. Fair enough. I mean, we can agree to disagree.
Got squeezed.
I thought it was firmly in his right hand there. He had a snap from the rear due to the riding the curb. Nate says that's what you were mentioning before as well. TSJ says Norris just clipped the inside curb. I think if he had turned in slightly later, he would have been okay. So I think 5 seconds is roughly right.
It's either 5 seconds or a racing incident. It's nothing worse than that. I don't think it's intentional either.
Nathan says it was a howler from Norris.
He got squeezed. Where's he gonna go? Do you want him to go over the grass? It's not Mario Kart.
More people are heading in the Norris fault here. It's interesting. Canadian Gringo says Norris had me wishing for a podium finish.
I'm telling you now, if the team was smart strategy wise, we would have been on pole. Magnussen's not getting a pole. Tell you right now.
Was it our time? Yeah.
Because even if Norris is the car behind Magnussen, he's getting pole. Because if you finish P4 and you're bang last by miles, what are you doing if you're right behind Magnussen and tracking?
Yeah. What are you doing behind Magnussen?
And you already stuck it on P1 and Q3, Q1. I mean.
Yeah, Q1. When I saw him at the top of the chart, so hello, this is looking a bit tasty.
Because when it comes to mixed conditions, he's that guy.
He's that guy. He is.
We saw it in Sochi quali. When a quali lap in its mixed conditions, he's that guy, man.
He's that guy, man.
Greasy track with softs on. Come on.
Yeah. Hussein says Norris is at fault. There was no reason to hit the curb like that.
He got squeezed. That's the reason.
I guess the video I should have found was a bit further back where we could see how they actually lead into that situation. Jeddah 2021 has been brought up. Max was stupendous, a work of art.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was in a different time zone. Yeah, I was in LA. Yeah, watching that race. It was like 6 a.m. It was early. Yeah, I've never been so angry at watching a race in my life. I was fuming. I couldn't. That's one of the. That Jeddah 2021 race is one of the worst Formula One races of all time. I'm telling you right now, one of the worst races. Not just what Max was doing, just in general, is one of the worst races.
I genuinely thought Max lost the plot. I genuinely thought, oh God, he's losing it. Lewis has mentally finished this guy. Like he's literally done it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't.
The funniest thing about that race is like Ocon's in the mix with them two. I'm like, why are you in the scrap, bro? Max and Lewis is scrapping. Max and Lewis scrapping. Ocon's just there, cuz.
Because like a referee.
In between. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Oh my God! PB says, and also he did get a 10-second back in Jeddah
at the end. Like he didn't get 10 seconds
after
cutting the first corner and doing Mazin. He weren't getting 10 seconds for that.
Listen, as a Red Bull fan first, the civil war I've been witnessing on my timeline has been insane. I'm just sitting back giggling because that's my GOAT regardless. So he's loving off the Max. He's loving off the Maxi.
Yeah, listen, Civil War. We know about Civil War.
We know about Civil War. Let me tell you.
And then the next Civil War is going to be?
Go on.
Russell Hamilton. I'm telling you now, Russell is Rosberg
over Charles Sainz, yeah? I think Leclerc Science is there, bro. It's bubbling, my friend.
They're not. It really depends on who's competitive out of them two. Whoever the top runner out of those two next season, then you'll see what.
Science. I mean, listen. Science is.
I'm waiting. I'm literally just. I'm waiting for the first crash between Hamilton and Russell. Exactly.
Mind you, two Brits.
It will happen within the first 10 races next season. It's going to happen. We're seeing in Spain 2016.
Now that Russell's got that win under his belt, I wonder if Hamilton's going to look at him different now. I'll be like, okay, you've come to the game. You've come to the game now. Now it's on.
I'm telling you now. This is why I'm confused about when people are saying, it's teamwork, Mercedes and that Mercedes, whatever it is, yeah. Like, it's teamwork. Yeah. It's the scholar and the student. Are you all right? Do you know what sport you're watching? Russell is a demon. Look at his eyes. He binned it on purpose in quali so he could finish P3. Are you guys deep in what he did at the beginning of the weekend? Do you know it was over? Guys, I'm telling you right now, the nail in the coffin. The crash between Hamilton and Max was there, nail in the coffin. But do you know how Russell won this weekend? Because of quali. I'm telling you right now, because of what he did.
By the way, he drove
and he put in a good lap. Because similar conditions. These two were next to each other, Hamilton and Russell, in that quali session.
Yeah, I think Russell.
And Russell beat him significantly.
Didn't Hamilton get a P1 in that session as well? That's why he was P1 at one stage.
Yeah, but then Russell beat him significantly in that Q3 session.
And then held his
him up for the week.
And held his weight on the weekend. My friend, what I saw Russell doing, the restarts. Bro. I said, is this good? Is it good Russell? Is this bad Hamilton? I had no idea what I was watching.
He was cooking. He was determined. I respect it and stuff like that. But it gave me such shades of Rosberg. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Like, because there were certain weekends where the
shades of Rosberg.
Rosberg could do his thing against Hamilton.
Yeah,
and we're gonna see that next. If the Mercedes is competitive in their front runner next season,
it is good to see.
I
think this has gone under the radar a lot. I think it's because it's in everyone's subconscious anyway. It's so good to see Russell be as quick as he is in comparison to Bottas, because Bottas was quick qualifying, but man, he could never hold that weight. Like if this was Bottas instead of Russell, and Bottas gets pole in the sprint, like wins the race, as soon as the race starts, Hamilton's dunking on him.
I think
Hamilton's dunking on him.
The thing is with Bottas, I think once every maybe like 20 races, he would have a worldie where Hamilton got a chat to him in the race. But that's too inconsistent.
Yeah, it's in Australia. What's the first race? No, it's in Bahrain and friggin' and Austria. Those are there's
literally in that period of time when Bottas was there, like 2017 all the way to 2021. There was like once every 20 odd races, there's a weekend where Hamilton can't chat to him. But Hamilton don't care because he's already way in the lead in the championship. And it's not a scenario where Hamilton did something wrong, whatever. It's just like Bottas just got pace out of nowhere, unreal.
Exactly.
But if it's a case where George is like that consistently, and then obviously Hamilton turns on like 90% of the time, we're gonna see fireworks. Because Rosberg was on it. I'm not out here to tell you Rosberg's a bum.
No. But he chickened out.
He chickened out, but he wasn't a bum in the sense
but he's
of
not
like,
a bum.
He couldn't catch. He wasn't in the same time zone as Rosberg like Bottas was.
No.
Same time zone as Hamilton.
Yeah, and you know, Bottas had what, maybe 50 races in maybe 100 races for Mercedes. He won 10. That tells you everything. That tells you everything you need to know. He had about 100 races for Mercedes in this era. He won 10 races. I wonder how many Hamilton won in that time. That's all I would say.
Listen, that's clout for Russell as well, because Russell's won now when Mercedes ain't even good.
Exactly.
And that's like, well, Rosberg did that. Rosberg won when Mercedes won good.
I swear to you, Sakir Grand Prix in 2020, I looked at Russell, I said, yo, is that what this man's on? I couldn't believe what I saw from Russell. Because I always heard, you always hear that people are good.
Oh, he was cooking. And
bro,
I think this...
He cooked Bottas. He duppied Bottas off the start.
I genuinely believe. Obviously, I don't think it's a debate anymore. People were trying to debate with me if he's going to do better than Bottas. Come on, guys. We're not going to do this anymore. This race, obviously, Russell kind of, you're dealing with maybe an 80% Hamilton because Hamilton had damage.
Yeah,
if Hamilton doesn't have the incident with Max, and I think he wins the race.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
because I do hear that I think his floor damage cost him like 0.2 seconds, if not 0.02 seconds a lap.
If Hamilton was on same kind of tires, same age tires, actually, do you know what? I don't know. Actually, no. I think if they the same amount, no, he did good. He did. I think it would be tighter than you think. I don't think like Hamilton will blow him out of the water.
But mind you,
I think that the difference between those two in that race right now, how many seconds was it on that restart? Maybe like 1 point something.
One something, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the damage. I think they'll be side by side. And then I think in that scenario, Russell would ram off the road because at the end of the day, your first win is right there. He's gonna ram off the road.
Yeah, he will fight you no matter what. He will fight whoever.
And that's why I kind of wanted the fireworks there, because if Hamilton didn't have that damage, you would have seen the first clash between them two.
Yeah.
Because Hamilton's not giving Russell's not giving that away.
No, he's not.
He's gonna try his best.
He's not. He will try. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Bro, we've hit the hour mark. I want to try and get through these.
Yeah, let's get through the comments, guys.
All right, so Perez apparently binned it in Zandvoort. And Monaco, Roscoe vibes at Monaco. When they're talking about the whole Monaco, this is the whole Monaco situation. Not gonna lie, since Monaco, Perez's car has fallen off. The upgrades over favored Verstappen, but no one seems to be addressing that his performance really dropped post Monaco. Red Bull sabotage on Perez. Thoughts?
Perez only was only prospering on tracks that were 90-degree angle corners and street tracks.
Oh dear.
Do you know what? Do you know when people do you know why that point is null and void, Nate? Yeah. Please look at Perez's performance in Imola. Hall of Shame performance in comparison to Max Verstappen.
Oh.
It was an absolute disgrace. And that's a car that was more steered towards Perez. And he got dunked on. It's track dependent with Perez because of his driving style. So in Jeddah, if that pit stop thing didn't happen with the safety car with Perez, I think Perez wins that race.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Singapore, look at the way that track is set up. He won the race. Monaco, look at the way it's set up. He was every practice session and qualifying, he was dunking on Max.
Yeah. He was.
In these other tracks, let's use our brain here, man. Let's use our brain here. Max is better than him, man. Let's use our brain here, man.
It's true. TSJ says this season for Ferrari was like us in 2012, us being Red Bull. Had a very competitive car right until the last few races, but were never in the title fight due to reliability. strategy.
That's true. McLaren. How much time did?
Oh, is he talking about McLaren? Oh, I don't know why.
McLaren,
sorry, yeah, I forgot. It's PB who's the Red Bull. Sorry, my bad.
Hey,
yes.
Don't say that though, because 2013 wasn't good, man. 2013 McLaren was not good, man. Don't say this season's like.
Was that?
Oh no, this season's for Ferrari. Oh, that means he's trying to say Ferrari's going to fall off. I'm just deep in what he said. Because if this season for Ferrari was like McLaren in 2012,
yeah,
next year ain't looking good, bro.
It's not looking good.
Not looking good, bro.
Not looking good. Big up Che says he was begging. I guess he was talking about Charles when it came to that podium. Big up yourself, Che.
Like Joe in an R&B video, man. He was begging.
R&B video. Bro, oh my god. So PB says streets are saying Max found out recently AB Monaco crash about the Monaco crash. Yeah. That whole in the summer radio was misheard. So revenge was fresh in his mind. Absolute menace. Drivers know when someone bins it on purpose, man. They know.
I'm 100%. I'm telling you right now, they knew. Like the second they knew Leclerc binned it on purpose in 2021. They knew. Every single one of them. Bottas knew. Max knew. Sainz knew. All of them knew.
Yeah, they did. No, I guess you're right. They know. The drivers know. Nate says Perez played his role last year and up to Monaco because he didn't have a contract. It's always about the money. That's what he's stating there. Nathan says Alonso at Red Bull, we might see the black flags again. Haven't seen that since 07.
Bro, it'll be like Montoya.
It'll be tasty. Oxydress says GQ did Max dirty with the magazine cover photo. Hey, yo, that magazine cover photo.
He looks like he's running a tech company, man.
It caused a uproar with the fan base as well. I can't remember what the comment was. Yeah. What was the headline? Was it something like they said something. The headline was like something not controversial, but just like if you hate Max, that's gonna really tick you off. It triggered many people. Yeah. TSJ says if only Honda had worked out.
If we just stayed a little bit longer, look at we'll be RB right now.
Yeah. Oh, so don't do that to me. That's so annoying. No. It's friggin' annoying. Nathan says big man thing though. How have Haas got a pole this season before McLaren? That is a capital L. I mean, it's circumstantial. It's circumstantial.
We got a podium this year. Yeah, first race of the season. Where was Haas and where were we?
Yeah, for real.
Haas was P5.
Do you remember when Magnussen was driving in the night on practice because he come down late? He started cooking that first night.
We never had that.
Is the Haas back? That's what we were asking. PB says Alonso don't want the Red Bull smoke. He said in an interview Max is too well integrated in the team. He said if he was gone there would be a big chance he goes there. If he was gone, there would be a big chance that he would go there. I mean, Alonso ain't gonna back out in no fight.
Alonso's not rejecting the top seat. Crazy.
No chance. He will be there. Nathan says no race can be worse than Imola this year and Spa last year. Those were absolute bore fests. I mean, Spa didn't last long for a start last year, and Imola this year was between Imola, Miami.
Imola's the best race because Norris.
I mean, listen, I remember it because of Norris.
I just remember Leclerc being in it,
and that's always fun. For me, the French and the Miami Grand Prix are Grand Prix I do not remember.
I remember,
and even Saudi Arabia for that matter.
I was smiling when I saw France.
You were smiling at France because they cooked it again. They cooked it again. Oh,
I tell you right now.
That's why they lost the title.
That's one of the most egregious crashes I've ever seen.
That's why they lost the title.
On your ones, on a push lap in P1.
Yeah. No.
Bidding it on your ones. Do you know what that reminds you of? That reminds me of Mika Hakkinen, 99, Imola. When he just crashed it just for no reason in first place.
Oh, God. Chase says, can't wait for Russell Hamilton Civil War.
Hey, man.
In agreement with you there, boy.
Smoke, man.
They know the smoke is coming. Ocon Gasly Civil War is right here. Listen, the Civil War's ready, cooking in the stove.
Oscar Norris might be a Civil
War. Norris, you know what I'm saying? Oscar Norris, bro. The way Oscar dealt with Alpine, listen, that's a guy you can't trust. Hussein says Hamilton in a good car will be far ahead of Russell.
He's far ahead, 100%.
Yeah. No need to worry. The only teammate that was cooking was Rosberg.
I'm saying George has got something about him, though.
George has got something about him, man.
You have to remember George is younger. Of course, he's not going to be anywhere near Hamilton right now.
Yeah.
But he's got something there.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sorry, what I saw George do in a very good Mercedes in 2020 freaked the hell out of me, man. I didn't expect that. Yes, it's a great car, but look what he did to Bottas. And how many he had like 4 reasons why he lost that race. You know what I'm saying? He came back, and obviously it was just one too many. Nathan says that win was gonna gas PR 63. Hamilton will show him levels next season. Listen, now Hamilton knows now. He's like, okay, yeah,
if it's a good car, Hamilton will show him levels.
You're in the game now, yeah. All right, cool. PB says the way George was cheesing after he binned it, he's a psycho. He's a psycho. I said he was cheesing.
He made it bait. His facial expressions are too bait, man.
Too bait. Nate says you man don't rate Valtteri Bottas. Even Toto said he cost Valtteri 10 wins. He cost Valtteri 10 wins. Listen, the facts are the facts.
Mercedes cost Valtteri 10 wins. Mercedes was so funny, man. How many wins they cost Hamilton then? Bloody hell. They're joke, man.
Also, that's 20 out of 100 then. That's only going to be 20 wins out of 100. In the Mercedes, no way. No chance. Mercedes will win like 50% of the races.
Who's the W11?
Hey, do you know where this is, bruv? I'm going to put it up once and it's gone. What the flip is that?
Was crazy. I just saw
that. What? Big up generous Dave, you done know. Says, I'm pretty sure Hamilton had sort of damage on his car, but it was 100%. A brilliant drive from George. Yeah. And that's the thing. There is a caveat to George's win. There is a slight caveat because that Mercedes clearly were good. They were clearly good this weekend. And had we had a fit, all the way there, Hamilton car definitely would have been something to be mouth-watering. Hussein says Russell doesn't have the same race pace as Hamilton. Wait until next year when the car is cooking.
If the only thing that I worry about Russell is that I worry about his race pace. I worry about sometimes the time management as well.
Do you know what I worry about?
He's not on the levels there because who's got race pace? Like people like Verstappen and Hamilton and Leclerc and stuff like that. They've got natural race pace. He doesn't seem like he's got that race pace in that sense.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm quite the opposite. I'm not worried about his pace at all. I think you give him the tools and he's good to go. My concern about George is managing the situation. It's the mentality. It's the mental side of things. Like I have a feeling
he's got a bozo in him a little bit.
He's got a bozo in him. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got a bozo situation in him, and I can see next year Mercedes costing points because of poor decision making by George Russell. I can see that. Whether it's an accident, whether it's the strategy, whether he thinks, no, guys, let's stay out or let's go into the pits. I can see that happening more. And if Hamilton is breathing down your neck, let's be very clear, a lion breathing down your neck, I understand. You're going to panic from time to time. And I just feel like he's got that panic in him.
I think he's got a panic on him off track. I think he's got one thing that I think he's good at, and I wish other drivers did have that. And I think even some of these these talented drivers that people talk about, I think he's mature in the sense that he has situational awareness. He knows what's going on. Okay. He knows what's going on in the race in terms of what tires I need to be on. I think the bozo genes comes from the actual racing itself.
Okay.
That he's prone to that. He could crash it. He could just drop it, stuff like that. And that's not something you could be doing against Hamilton. I'm not gonna lie. If you're going head to toe, Hamilton will just cook you.
You can't do it with Verstappen. Verstappen will cook you as well.
Verstappen ironed that out of his game because he used to kind of do that.
Yes.
But he don't do it anymore. But I think you learn that over time in being in the top class. Same with Charles. Charles will learn that over time. Charles can't be dropping it the way he's dropping it now.
No,
like 5
Charles
years.
Will learn. We have to agree that Charles will probably learn. Hussein goes on to say, and the tire management, Russell doesn't have it. Well, we'll see there. It'll be interesting to see because we haven't had to pay attention too much to George unless you're a Mercedes fan. We haven't had to. The pressure hasn't been on him this year because the car's been whack. So everyone's given Mercedes a blight this year because the car's whack. And guess what? They still want to race, but they got a series of podiums as well this season.
The guys, if you want to look at a comparative example between who Russell is and who Hamilton is, watch Hungary.
Watch Hungary.
We saw it. We saw it together. We saw it live. We saw the Hungarian. We saw the race where he was on pole. George was on pole. Hamilton was on pole. Hamilton finished second. He was cooking everybody. He cooked out Russell.
Yeah, he did. Flipping out. I forgot about that. Hey, big up.
Both of them didn't have damage.
Big up the Quick Stop live. Right, big up the Quick Stop gang live this weekend, man. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there still. Come on.
Hey, what's it? Nyash has done a set blatter on me, fam. So it's a backdoor thing. I don't know if you've seen that documentary yet, the FIFA one yet.
No, I've not. I literally about to watch it tonight still.
Bro, get involved, fam. I just finished it 2 days ago. Oh, all you'll think is straight away the FIA needs one of these. That's what you think straight away. You're like,
FIA, you wait for FIFA, all you guys are the same, B.
You're all bent, blood. Nate says I could be wrong, but Valtteri, though, and 10L due to Toto, he was the best sidekick ever. He's the best sidekick ever. We'll have
to have that discussion. I need to think about that.
Yeah, we've got to think about that. I got to go look at the stats. I got to see how many 1-2s there were. Nate says, Mahad, you're making my point. How can Perez fall off so bad when he was in a rocket ship? How can he be that bad? I agree, 90% track, but man can't be P5, P6, 9, etc. He was in a rocket ship.
Tell me about him. Tell me about Imola, bro, please.
So Imola, you know, that's like race.
Imola's the case study, man. Imola breaks every argument.
Yeah,
that sprint weekend breaks every argument.
That sprint weekend. Oh God, I can't believe we had a sprint in Imola. That's a howler. We're
gonna do it again as well. I'll tell you that.
No. They need to sort this out properly. Yeah, if you're gonna have 6 sprint races, which I'm all for. Listen, I said it on the live show on Tomo's show yesterday, Sunday. I'm all for a sprint weekend every weekend. I said I'm for it. It dawned on me that, you know what, we have boring
every
races
weekend,
anyway. Bro. Make it rain.
I'm tired, guys, man.
Make it rain. What I will say is, don't give me these back-to-back weekends, and don't give me triple headers, but give me sprint weekends every season, every race.
No, do it like F2, man. Just do reverse grid, man. Reverse grid sprint.
Hey, the problem with that is will drivers want to race hard? Would they care about protecting their car for the race?
That's what people do in F2, man. They think about it.
Fair enough.
Some don't, and they've been it.
Yeah, it's true. Selassie says George got that dog in him for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think he does. PB says I'm confused on how to approach Abu Dhabi. Are we doing up retirement party for Daniel and like Seb, or are we inhaling copium?
I can't. This whole week is going to be about Seb. This whole week's going to be about Seb. I'm trying to stay off the timeline. I don't want to see any videos. I'm not trying to see any coverage because I don't want to see it.
Why? Why don't you want to see
it? I'm the biggest Vettel hater on the planet. I ain't trying to see any of these things. Yeah. Thank God, though. Vettel's leaving my sport. Latifi's leaving my sport. It's a celebration. We're celebrating next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're celebrating.
Is Mick Schumacher leaving?
Oh, McDonald's! McDonald's! It's over for McDonald's.
He's over.
Out of here, man.
Oh, I heard the Hulk. I heard the Hulk
showroom in Munich.
Speaking of Munich, they had an NFL there, didn't they, last weekend? Right?
Yeah.
And I can't remember what NFL player moaned about the pitch being dead. Like he said the grass was whack. I was like, no way, Munich, but you need to sort yourself out. The Allianz Arena looks amazing as well.
It does.
Nate says thoughts on Verstappen crash on Hamilton. Racing incident, in my opinion. I was surprised Max got the penalty. I thought if anyone's going to get a penalty, it'll be Lewis. But for me, it was just race. Let's race. That's fantastic.
Okay, so I looked at it like 4 times.
Yeah.
And Hamilton's on the quali line, and what's the name? Verstappen's on the race line, and I'm gonna just say racing incident, man. You know, when you could, I don't look. The thing is, it's racing incident from like before, and people might say, "Oh no, it's because Max does the crash and yield thing," and he said that thing about, "Oh, I'm gonna go there and see what happens." He's got nothing to lose anyway. He's won the championship. Of course, he's gonna do it.
To lose,
I would do it. I've got nothing to lose. If I could do anything in this race, what does it matter to me? It don't matter to me.
It is what it is. I got
so the onus of being careful kind of sits on the guy on the outside, but in the same breath. You can't do kamikaze driving like that. But at the end of the day, it's not like this guy was off track completely and rammed into it. He didn't turn left into him.
Yeah.
He's on the line.
Yeah, it's racing. That man got the. It was.
If guys, if you know racing, they're both on their lines. One's on the racing line, one's on the quali line. These guys are not doing anything illegal individually.
No.
But the comments after the race, Max is bare. He's dumb, man. He's not got a PR guy.
He hasn't got a PR guy,
bro.
He saw the PR guy.
If he's one of those man, if he was like a road man, he's gonna put himself in jail. He's gonna put something on TikTok. He's dumb.
Well, for those that didn't watch it, what was the comments that he actually said? What did he say that you think that's gonna put him in that fire?
He basically said, it ended Lewis's race. He knew that him going in there was gonna end his race.
Sabotage. The thing is, as well, like he was like, you know what, this guy is coming. It was one of those, but I wish it wasn't a story because
do you know why it's not a story? I'll tell you this one thing right now. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Apologies.
Go true.
You saw when people say, "Oh, that's the way Max drives," so on and so on. That's his driving style. We saw how Max drives when he was racing against Russell. It's because he doesn't rate Lewis Hamilton's driving style. He does that.
Yeah, he's got it in for him.
If it was Russell, on my life, Verstappen yields.
You think? Or Leclerc? Leclerc, he definitely yields. Leclerc, he definitely yields.
He knows them man are on it. Because Hamilton is a gentleman style driver,
yeah,
which he's kind of not backed out anymore. When he sees Max, he's not backing out anymore. He's
not backing out.
But it's too late now. Verstappen don't rate your team. He's gonna just do it. And I think Verstappen, if it was still fighting for a championship right now, on my life he doesn't do it. Because he had nothing to lose and he don't rate your team, he's gonna do that.
He's gonna go for it.
But I tell you right now, like do you remember when he was fighting Mick Schumacher in Silverstone?
Yes. Yeah, everyone brought that up. Yeah,
everyone brought up. Then Mick was fighting for points. That's why he's fighting back.
Yeah,
and he's like, "That's a Haas. I don't rate your team."
A Haas? Come on now.
But when it's people that he rates, let's say a Russell and a Leclerc, you will never see that. You will never see what he did.
And that's to Nate's point. He's like, look at the if you compare the battles, Max doesn't respect Lewis the same way he respects, for example, George Russell. We had it in the sprint.
No, it's people say it, and people when I say respect, he doesn't respect Lewis Hamilton's driving style.
Yeah.
I'm not saying respect to him. I don't know these people. I don't know the interpersonal relationships, so I'm not going to say that. I'm saying if we're looking at styles and driving and how they battle and yield and whatever. Yeah, Max Verstappen thinks Lewis is a scaredy cat when it comes to those things.
Yeah, he does.
So he's like, oh, fuck it, I can scare this guy. Let me do that. He's doing the Debo like, yo, give me your back. Yeah, that's what he's doing every time because he knows it works because he's done it before.
Yeah, especially last year. Yeah, last year it was on and on and on. What's it called? PB says he was speaking facts. It cost Lewis the race, and because Lewis was moving too mad too, Max got penalized. That's what he is highlighting. Yeah, I think
Max got penalized because the FIA just said, "Fuck it, we just need to give him something."
Yeah, the FIA was just moving a bit. For me, it was two dogs not backing out of a fight, and I respect it. I respect that. Like Hamilton was like, "There's an opportunity, I'm going for it," and Verstappen is like, I'm not letting this go without some sort of damage. If it means we both die, we both die. Do you know them ones? That's like, as you say, you got nothing to lose here. Hussein said a comment earlier. Yeah, George seems like he's going to be fighting the team like Vettel at Scuderia next year.
I don't think Russell don't rate Mercedes strategy.
Do you think so?
He don't rate them.
I mean, Canada, isn't it? When men say let's put some sauce in Canada.
Guys, when you listen, guys, pay attention. When Russell says, "What we doing, guys?" That's how you know he's not rating these guys. I want you to pay attention because he says it a lot. What we doing, guys, on the radio? When he says that, he's not rating for next season. He's saying you lot are moving clueless. Pat it up.
I can't wait for next season.
And he will take action on it. He's not like Lewis Hamilton. I'm not gonna lie. He does argue on the radio quite a lot, but Lewis kind of listens to him.
Yes,
strategy.
He does, because he said it about the tires when he went in and he said my tires are good.
He's not ignoring,
good,
but he comes in because he trusts.
He'll come in,
and obviously they brought him titles and stuff.
And he knows
Russell has no trust for this strategy team. Okay, you don't rate him.
Lewis Hamilton's been there long enough to know that this team know what they're doing. They will make mistakes, and it is what it is. To be honest, Max and Lewis are as bad as each other. They race everyone differently apart from each other. They've got their way.
It's not boxing. Man. Why would you race the same? You have to race differently.
You got to adapt. Yeah, you got to adapt your styles.
You got to set people up and stuff like that, and you have to understand. Okay, this guy's prone to doing this, and this guy's prone to doing that.
It's an interpersonal relationship.
Yeah, bro. One thing I'm not gonna lie to you. One thing I'm not interested in is like the off-track relationships between drivers. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think I care.
A lot of people do, like, these guys are friends. I don't care about that.
No, do you know what? I'll say this. It used to bug me when I used to, because I always feel like Hamilton don't rate no one, and it used to bug me.
Well, back in the day when he used
like
to
just
McLaren.
even like 2020, like from like 2020 and whatnot. I used to think, yo, he's his own man. When I say like,
yeah, because he used to think all of these guys were meaty. And it's true, because at the time he didn't respect at the time. Remember, like, when that Ferrari and that, everybody's saying, how Vettel and Hamilton got respect for each other. Hamilton weren't rating his team.
He weren't rating his team.
Hamilton was doing up mind games. He violated the man.
He wasn't. Like that period of Hamilton when he was winning consecutive championships at Mercedes. I felt like this was a Hamilton who just said, you know what, bro, I don't care about none of y'all. Like, I don't care. And it's the ruthless, like, it surprises me that he loves fans. Like, because the two kind of don't match. Obviously they do, because obviously the things that he stands up for and everything else.
He loves fans from back in the day, he does.
But like, the same person, like, he loves the fans so much. I've never seen someone hate their colleagues, yet they love the fans so much. Like,
back in the day,
feels weird.
But back in McLaren, he didn't rate nobody.
He didn't rate Button. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like
he didn't rate but then when you're young, you didn't rate nobody. And he hated back in the day. He's okay now, but he hated the press back in the day.
Yeah, it's true.
He's at McLaren, he didn't speak to the press. All these interviews. Somebody please watch interviews from like 2010, 2011. This guy hates the person that's interviewing him.
But it was a guy contact. It was a guy you couldn't like, man. It was a guy hard to like. That's why the British press ruined him. Absolutely ruined his reputation. Because of all that kind of stuff. Nate says, last couple of comments, guys, because we've gone on an hour and a half.
Go.
George Russell does not respect the strategy at all, so he's agreeing with you there. Hussein says, Lewis and Max are playing chess, not checkers. It's the big boy leagues, isn't it? And PB says, guys, I've got to head off. It's been fun, just like us as well. It's been fun. Listen, we can't do any ratings. We can't do driver ratings. We can't do nothing because it's a farce. We've had
zero for everybody.
Zero for everyone. A 1 for Norris because he did it when with friggin' influenza.
No. We'll give Norris a 4 because he qualified P4.
And then Ricciardo 3 because he did recover in the sprint.
Yeah, we'll give him a 3, whatever.
But then he had a howler. He had an absolute stinker by taking himself out.
Team 2.
Team 2.
Could have got a pole, bottled it.
What do we think for Abu Dhabi? Quickly before we go, what are you expecting?
I need a double points finish minimum.
I need a strong finish to going into next season. That's for damn sure. Next week, guys, we'll be live for the last time of the season. Would you believe it? Big up TSJ. See you guys after Abu Dhabi. Hopefully it's a good one. Yes, indeed. Hopefully people will see you then afterwards as well. If you're haven't got your tickets already, make sure you do for the Quick Stop Live. I don't know if they're sold out. I don't know what the gang is. I don't know what the situation is.
I think they're doing it. They've got a streaming thing, so
they've got streaming things as well.
I'll put my face in the camera. You get me?
Yeah, bro.
Shout you guys out.
Yeah, I'm saying. And hey, merch next season, yeah.
McLaren Fan TV. You guys want some merch? We'll ship it worldwide,
guys.
We know we got all over the world.
Big up yourselves watching right now. Smash a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And please tell people about this channel. Please, can we get the subscribers up so that we can, you know what I'm saying, be a bit more known? Because when I type in McLaren Fan TV, we're getting there. We're getting there a little bit more.
Our videos are there, but it's the old ones, guys.
Yeah, for real. It's the old ones. So, yeah. Make sure you smash a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And boy, we're going to see you after Abu Dhabi. Until then, people, lights out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.